I already do. Let's just break it down. To you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced, and I'm gonna tell you. And I ain't ever gonna stop. Oh, oh, oh.
Larks travel down to Liberal, Kansas. I'm Nick Helligan, by myself in the booth tonight. A very nice press box up here and a beautiful baseball field. That tonight's cameras only got one down on the field, two up in the press box. We'll try to get you guys the best shots for tonight's game. But two of the top teams in the RMBL going back at it again. This time down in Liberal. The Larks coming in tonight's ball game sitting at 17-6 in conference play, 22-8 overall, while the Liberal BJs in first place in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League at 20-4 and 22-4 overall. Tonight's game is going to be very interesting. The Larks went to a bullpen-style game their last two matchups. One was a non-conference game, one was a conference game, and they're looking to bounce back. I've lost a couple games, and they're looking to play against the top team in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League and get a win tonight. Now, if we take a look at the standings, if we can get pulled up for you guys, there we go. That is the current standings right now in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. This is going to be a very interesting couple of games. Larks need 2 wins down here on the road to possibly get the RMBL title this season. The BJs will try to win at least one to declare themselves the winner. There are still some possibilities where the Larks could sneak in if they were to lose one here, but the Larks are going to try to go for the sweep in this 2-game series. Tuesday and Wednesday, 7 o'clock start time here on the Larks Network. I mean, other than the Larks and the BJs, it's really just them two in the conference standings. We see the Foxes, who have put up good showcases against the Larks and BJs, but right now it's looking like, for the end of the season, it's what's looking like BJs and the Larks. And if we take a look into the schedule, only 4 more games after these 2-game series down here in Liberal, all 4 games at home. 3 of those games are conference games. So the Larks really have to win out from here on out to try and win the RMB title. This is going to be interesting. The guys are fired up. Talking with some of them before the game, they are ready to go, and they are ready to give it their all. They want to take back the crown, as last year the Larks won the conference while the BJs finished in second. So, I mean, the BJs want to retain the title while the Larks are looking to go back-to-back. So this will be an interesting game tonight. Hope you guys stay tuned for tonight's ball game. 7 o'clock start time down here in Liberal. For the last time this season, the Larks will travel on the road, and tonight they'll face off against the Liberal BJs here in a two-game series. Here for some midweek action here on the Larks Network. I'm Nicholas Elliott, just us up in the press box for tonight's ball game, and this will be a good one. The two top teams in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League are facing off, and the Larks in a must-sweep scenario. 2 wins today would be very big in trying to come back. Apologies for the camera angle tonight. This is the best we could get for tonight's game. Tomorrow we'll see if we can get a little bit lower. But that's the best thing we could get from there. We got 2 extra cameras to keep you guys entertained throughout tonight's game. As first pitch coming in at 7:04 start time. First pitch strike, and first pitch brought to you by Simply Order. Caden Ashton, the top of the order hitter tonight for the Larks. Fly ball hit out to left field near the left field line. Left fielder tracks it down and finds into his glove for the first out in tonight's game. So 2 pitches from the pitcher, and Josh Dorr is all it takes for him to get his first out in tonight's game. So that brings up the second batter in the line in Caleb Duncan. Starting pitcher Josh Dorr. Left-handed pitcher for the Liberal BJs. An ERA of 3.97 on the year. Through 11 and a third innings pitched. Has only allowed 5 earned runs. This one ripped but foul and out of play. He's given up 13 hits, walked 2 batters, and struck out 5. Dorr has been one of the best arms on the team this year for the Liberal BJs coming into this, and also pitched against the Larks as a ground ball sneaks past the third baseman. A bad hop that goes past the third baseman's glove to his left, as that will be the first base knock of the ball game. I believe they'll rule out a base. It was a hard hit ground ball to the third baseman. That just took a really weird hop, as we are not on turf infield tonight. Playing on some dirt infield, a bit of old school. No modern day baseball now. We're playing some old school baseball. We love to see it here on a dirt field. Brent Gold Field is the name of the stadium. A very nice ballpark. You didn't tune into the pregame show, mentioned it a little bit. It's a very nice ballpark. Tonight's press box, we actually got our own room to ourselves. Very nice little thing up here. Loving it already. As next pitch to Espinal catches the zone. Caleb Duncan over at first base. We'll rule that a single in our book. So Caleb Duncan gets on with the first base hit of the ballgame. Pickoff throw back in time is Caleb Duncan. Bit of a bad throw. Good throw. Might have contested it. So we'll get our live scoreboard update for you guys. There we go. 0-1 count here to Wilbert Espinal. Caleb Duncan over at first. Second pitch hit out to left center field. This ball has a chance to get down, and it will just drop in front of the left fielder. Tailed, came into center field, and then tailed towards left field and just dropped last second. Back-to-back base knocks for the Larks here in the top of the first. Tonight is a conference game, so all the stats will be going down into the stat book for tonight's game. Espinal gets a base hit, make it 29 on the season for the right fielder. That brings up Garrett Gruhl, who's gotten the last 2 nights off, but back in the lineup. It's been one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter, on the Larks team this year, as the first pitch runs inside here to Garrett Gruhl. 75 at-bats on the season for the first baseman in tonight's game. Batting order for the Larks, Caden Ashton was the leadoff batter. Caleb Duncan was second, Espinal third. Garrett Gruhl batting now, the cleanup hitter, fifth, and Houston Russell. As Garrett Gruhl hits a fly ball out to left field, near the line again. This ball tailing towards the bullpen, sliding feet first effort from the left fielder, but not in time. Good effort from Miller Durham, as Garrett Gruhl head back to the box with a 1-1 count. So 4, 5, and 6, Garrett Gruhl, Houston Russell, and Will Carpenter. 7, 8, 9, Tabor Stokes, Thomas Lissy, and Trent Baker. The left-handed pitcher working with a 1-1 count here to Garrett Gruhl. Runners on first and second. Caleb Duncan over at second, and Wilbert Espinal at first. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed, as Dorr gets ahead in the count against Gruhl, 1-2. We've seen Josh Dorr this season. Saw him back in Hayes, went 6 innings of work against the Larks. Gave up 3 runs, 8 base hits, struck out 2 Larks hitters, and only walked 1. It's been one of the solid arms on the team this year for the BJs. But the Larks do not care. They need to get things going. They've already gotten a good start to this one as next pitch misses outside. Good take from Garrett Gruhl. So it evens the count up. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to number 22 in Garrett Gruhl. Entering tonight's game with a 13-game on base streak. Let's see if he can extend it here. Second baseman holding Duncan on. That bounces back over to second. Next pitch misses up high. Full count pitch coming. Houston Russell on deck. Will Carpenter in the hole here with 1 out and runners at first and second. Garrett Gruhl has been walked 10 times on the season, has only struck out 3 times. The full count. Runs down low, ball 4. Bases are loaded here in the top of the first. Larks have a chance to strike early with the bases loaded. And this is the start the Larks really need as, Josh Dorr has been the guy to go to this season for the BJs. Now, there was another arm on this team that I'm very curious to see, and that man is Hunter Phillips. Phillips, who has a 5-0 record, 2.76 ERA. He last pitched July 12th. Today's July 16th. So more than likely, he'll be facing off against the Larks tomorrow, and that is their ace. Dorr seems like their number 2 guy. One for Houston Russell hits to the right side. Second baseman bobbles it, drops it. That'll score a run. The throw to first is in time. An RBI ground out for Houston Russell. The first base coach for tonight's game, and Nolan Wilson pointed at the bag. Looks like they're going to talk things over. The first baseman might have not kept his foot on the bag. We'll see what they say. He had a good view of it, and they're going to overturn it. They're going to call him safe. So that will be the first run of the game. Houston Russell reaches first on the E4. Might rule that an E3, actually. I think we'll rule that an E3 in our book since the throw was there in time. The first baseman did not keep his foot on the bag. Look at that. Nolan Wilson, the pitcher, being the first base coach, just came up with a big call. Told the umpire he didn't keep his foot on the bag, so the umpire went to home plate, asked for his opinion, and he overturned it. Good stuff from Nolan Wilson, who had our live player interview with on Sunday. That was one of my favorite interviews of the season. Really got to learn a lot about Nolan Wilson as a pitcher and as just a person. As the second pitch to Will Carpenter, looks like they ruled a ball. Not quite sure what he was pointing at. It looks like they do. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Will Carpenter. Larks strike first. Second pitch misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Will Carpenter. Bases still juiced. Espinal at third, Gruhl at second, Russell over at first. After his RBI for the ball he put in play, an error was made by the second baseman for the BJs. Bobbled it a bit, threw it to first. The first baseman didn't keep his foot on the bag. So really don't know how we're going to rule that in the stats book. But luckily we got our stats guy here with us today down in the dugout, so he'll be the one to make that call official. As Carpenter half swing, goes around, strike 3. First punch out on the day for Josh Dorr. As now 2 outs, still bases loaded. Tabor Stokes, the young shortstop, looks to come up big for the Larks. Trying to tack on another run. Here are 3 runners on base. Larks have been doing this all season long. Just getting guys on base early on and just doing the small ball stuff. Bring them around. Do what you can. Don't try to force anything. As first pitch to Stokes runs inside. Dorr looking to just get out of the inning. Larks rocking their blue uniforms today with the gray sliding pants. The Larks lettering across the chest. Second pitch almost clips Stokes, but misses inside nonetheless. 2-0 count now. BJ's going for the all-white attire. BJ's lettering across the chest and the number below, or up above the belt, but below the letters. Third pitch will find the zone for the first strike here to Tabor Stokes. "17 RBIs on the season for Tabor. Let's see if he can get a base knock here and drive home a run here with 2 outs and the bases loaded. The 2-1. Misses up high. Good take to leave that one up. Stokes ahead, 3-1. Dorr trying to find a zone. Doesn't want to walk in a run here. They did rule that Caleb Duncan base knock and air on the live scoreboard, so that will not be the first base of the game. The first base hit was Wilbert Espinal, and that will be the second run of the game as ball 4 to Tabor Stokes. Espinal comes around to score, and the Larks are up 2-0. And this is what we were talking about. Just do the small stuff and keep trying to push on runs. It'll come as first pitch to Thomas Lissy is fouled out of play. That's all you can do. Larks have just been, like I said, a small ball team this year. Not a big home run threat, an extra base threat, though. Lots of doubles. It's Tabor Stokes, who is just the batter that was walked. He came into today's game with 9 doubles on the season. Thomas Lissy, the batter, has 7. They've been an extra base team. They just do the small stuff right and do a good job on the base paths to score. Next pitch, Thomas Lissy swung on and missed. 3-pitch strikeout here to the third baseman as that will end the top of the first. But the Larks strike first. 2 runs from the Larks as they sit pretty 2-0. Temperature for tonight's game sitting at 88 degrees, coming in at first pitch, still 88 right now. There was a chance for rain around 9 o'clock, but as I check my radar and stuff, it doesn't look like we will have anything come. As I said that, a base hit into left field for the leadoff batter for the BJs and Ryuto Kusamoto. So first base knock on the day for the Larks. As didn't even have my head up, not even sure how that got through the hole, but it was a base hit nonetheless as they ruled on the scoreboard. So the first base hit for the BJs coming from the leadoff batter and Ryuto Kusamoto. Second batter, Ben Merriman shoots this one into center field. Back-to-back pitches, back-to-back base hits for the BJs here in the top of the first. The throw in goes past the cutoff man, but the third baseman, Thomas Lissy, backs it up. The BJs responding quickly after 2 runs, came around to score in the top of the first. 2 walks, 1 error, 1 base knock, and 2 runs scored, all in 1/2 inning for the Larks. So third batter in the lineup for the BJs and Miller Durham has a chance to bring home a run with a runner in scoring position at second. First pitch catches the outside corner for Dalton Camel, tonight's starting pitcher for the Hayes Larks. Entering tonight's game 2-0 win and loss record, an ERA of 1.95. His next pitch swung on and missed. Looks like he went to his slider there. Swung on and missed as Durham is down 0-2 here to Camel. The 0-2 ripped to the second baseman, makes the catch, the throw to first, just not in time. A nice play by Will Carpenter, the second baseman, for the first out of tonight's game for Dalton Campbell. Had to jump a little bit forward, but was able to make the catch after the line out from Miller Durham. Defensive alignment for the Larks out in left field. Trent Baker. If you didn't see our graphic before, I had a little hiccup with that, so apologies for that. Center fielder Caden Ashton, right fielder Wilbert Espinal, shortstop Tabor Stokes, and Will Carpenter up the middle at second base. First pitch here to the cleanup batter Robert Orr catches the zone. Hot corners Thomas Lissy at third, Garrett Gruel at first, and tonight's catcher in Houston Russell. Tying run is on base for the BJs for here in the bottom of the first. Larks up by 2. Second pitch misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike here with 1 out. Camel, who won, or I guess I'll spoil it already, he won Pitcher of the Week last week for his dominant performance against the BJs. It was a big game. They were saving him for that game, and he came up big, and they're looking for him to do the same thing tonight. Back-to-back starts, both against the BJs, this time on the road. So we'll see what happens tonight against the BJs back at home. Went 6 innings of work, got the win as next pitch swung on and missed. First strikeout on the day for Dalton Campbell. Coming here in the bottom of the first as now 2 outs after the 2 leadoff singles. And that's how you respond back after back-to-back singles to start the game off. As Campbell now has 2 outs, forces at first, second, and third to get out of the jam. Pop up to the right side and foul territory. Just out of reach of Garrett Gruel as it hops down to play. First strike here to Lane Snow, tonight's right fielder for the BJs. Batting order tonight for the BJs. Ryuto Kusamuto, the leadoff batter, got that base hit. And then Ben Merriman, who also got a base hit in their first at-bats. Miller Durham, third. Robert Orr in the cleanup spot. Fifth, and the batter now in Lane Snow. Sixth, Julius Ramirez. 7th, Matt Cormier, 8th, Kaiser Harrington, and 9-hole batter in Tommy Molina. Camel gets ahead 0-2 pitch coming up here to the right fielder in Lane Snow. Appeared in the series back at home against the Larks. Second pitch, a little chopper just over to Lissy's head. Stokes fields it cleanly. No play was going to be made. Nonetheless, an infield single for Lane Snow as that will load the bases now. A weird ground ball. It hopped off the dirt or near the edge of the grass. Too high for Lissy to reach and too slow a ball that just didn't come down fast enough. That Stokes just had to dig it up and just kind of look around and make sure nobody else advanced. So first baseman now, Julius Ramirez. Tying run is in scoring position at second here at the bases loaded. Lefty versus righty matchup as Camel's first pitch misses down below the knees. Forces at any bag. Second pitch runs inside to Ramirez as Campbell down 2-0. As I said, pitched against the BJs back at home on July 9th. 6 innings of work, only gave up 2 earned runs, allowed 5 hits, 2 walks, and struck out 5 BJs batters. That game really signified that Dalton Campbell is the ace for the Larks this year. There's a lot of debate. The top 3 guys in the rotation go Dalton Campbell, Nolan Wilson, and Blake Lembeck. Those 3, you can make an argument for any of them to be the ace. But for the Larks against the BJs back at home, Dalton Campbell really sent the message that he's going to be the ace for the team this year. And ironically, last year for the Larks, their ace was also a left-handed pitcher in Tyler Schott. So back-to-back years, the Larks have 2 aces and lefties As full count pitch coming here, 2 away. Bases are juiced, everyone on the move as Dalton Campbell looks for the big out. This ball hits the right side. Gruel fields it clean, runs to the bag and steps on it. Out number 3. Dalton Campbell works with the bases loaded and gets out the jam as we head to the second inning. The Larks strand the bases loaded. We head to the second. 2-0 Hayes Larks.
So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! Join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Hayes Larks would like to give all of our streaming sponsors a big shout out for this year sponsoring the Hayes Larks streaming, and to all of our game day sponsors. Thank you guys for supporting Larks baseball. First pitch, Trent Baker hit out to shallow center field, and this one's going to sneak down for a base knock. Stay hot, Trent.